University.
How to destroy a country from within. A case study on how not to build a nation. To understand how bad this bill and government is, we need to understand how we got here, if we are ever going to get through this as a country. Since day one, the Liberal Party of Canada has been trying to reshape Canada into this weird reality. Many Canadians don't recognize this country, a post-national state that doesn't have an identity. Over the past decade, Canada has had the worst record on economic growth in the G7. For every category, Canada is dead last because of Liberal policies that have weakened our country and made our citizens poorer. There are countless stats to confirm how far we have fallen. But just look at our country, with over 2 million people every day relying on the food bank just to sustain themselves. This has been caused by Liberal inflation because of terrible policies like printing of money, but maybe more importantly, has also been the laws they have enacted to ban growth within Canada, like C-69, the No More Pipelines Bill, or the tanker ban. And this has real-world implications. There's real Canadian suffering. Right now I'm thinking of the youth, which are facing record unemployment right now. Whole generations have given up on the dream of ever owning a home. And the Liberals want a nation of renters. We are a country in decline because of this terrible policies of this government. It's almost every way possible the Liberals have made us more dependent on the state. We don't talk enough about natural resources in Canada. We should be a stronger nation because of our foundation built on natural resources, but that will never happen while the Liberals are in power. The Keep It in the Ground gang has kidnapped our once proud country. We used to build in Canada. We used to celebrate new production in Canada, not cap it. Our citizens are hardworking. We are a country, or we used to be a country, of doers. After a decade of decline because of the terrible Liberal anti-development laws have killed communities across our country. As a country, we have spoken endlessly about the North and the importance of protecting and growing our presence in the territories. But because of new Liberal regulations, the North are hurting, and this bill will not address that. I've traveled to the North. I've heard firsthand how C-69 has stalled and ultimately killed every new mining project in the territories. And I've been told in the territories there's two main types of jobs. There's one, you can work for the government on the taxpayer's dime, or you can work in the mining sector. And this government has stalled and changed regulations so that no mines currently are being built in the territories, and soon there will be only government jobs. And all those mining jobs will be evaporated, and now everyone's just going to get on the payroll of the government. That's the strong country the Liberals are building. A country that happily fires its own citizens and ships production and jobs to foreign countries. The Liberals have made our economy more beholden to foreign interest and a weaker Canada. Because of Liberal anti-pipeline policies, we don't have ways to move our product to market. This results in America buying our oil at a discount. You, the citizens of this country, own the resources in the ground, all the resources. There's no one special group that has more say over it other than the citizens of this country. We are the owners, not the corporations, not the government. The citizens are, for our benefit. But now, this once great country owes that resources, or this government wants to keep it in the ground as long as they could. And the managers of that resources, the government, has done a lousy job in managing your assets and your inheritance for the next generation. These brilliant Liberals are layered on so much regulation that pipeline companies such as Brookfield invests in pipelines around the world, but not here in Canada. Elbows up against your own people and resources. We have closed all growth opportunities to export the product that we all own, making it easier for Americans to literally have us over a barrel. We have forced ourselves to sell to the Americans for a discount on every barrel of oil, upwards of $15 on every barrel that we just give away because of the crazy policies that the Liberals have enacted for our country. If you add up that with millions and billions of barrels of oils, there's the money to reinvest in schools and hospitals and highways and true infrastructure, because we would have the revenue, because our economy is growing, because we would have ability to get our product to market, but not under the Liberals. Your record of selling out our country, and for what the Liberals claim for its environment. But if the world, just stop that for a minute. The whole idea is that we got to keep it all in the ground and stop everything to save the planet. But just on the oil and gas equation, if the whole world would use oil from Canada, our emissions as a planet would go down by 25%. So I'm not sure if you're hurting our country or the environment more with your crazy Liberal policies. It even gets even worse when we talk about LNG. There isn't a country in the world that wouldn't want what we have, but we have squandered this opportunity. This is the worst missed opportunity in a generation. And I'm so embarrassed for our country for what has happened. When this Liberal government formed government 10 years ago, there was 15 LNG plants lined up for Canada. Not a single taxpayer's dime in these projects. But it was all private investment that would have drove our economy for the decade. And these projects are billion-dollar projects that are located on coastal communities that are so desperate for these good-paying jobs that allow families to buy a home, raise some kids, and retire in a safe community. This is what those paychecks would come from liquefied natural gas plants. But unfortunately, the Liberals have changed the policies, and only one is progressing. We still haven't it up and operational. And if you remember the resource that is in the ground, the natural gas, it's owned by all of us. It's owned by you. And what we're doing right now, if we were going to sell an ounce of natural gas outside of Canada, guess where it goes? Guess who our only customer is? United States of America. America is our sole customer for natural gas. They take our gas, transported in the capacity we do have in pipelines, to the States, and it goes to liquefied natural gas plants, some of which are the same companies that were proposing those plants in Canada. After the Liberals said no, they went to the States. Now we send our gas to the States, and the Americans get the profit of liquefying it and selling it around the world. The profit goes to the Americans and the jobs because of Liberal policies. This is the country that the Liberals have built. All those jobs and opportunities have been lost to America because of Liberal regulation. So after a decade of crazy Liberal policies that have weakened country, these crackerjacks are proposing fast-tracking a limited number of nation-building projects. It's like Willy Wonka and the chocolate factory. It's like, I hope your family's not waiting. If you're one of the many families that have their careers and they're tied up in a project that is waiting for approval from this government, this is the Willy Wonka's magic golden ticket that they're claiming. And if you're waiting for that, hopefully your project to go ahead. And this is the kind of the sweepstakes that the Liberal government thinks that is a best way to build a nation. We have a country desperate for growth and all the good things that flow from economic activity. And the Liberals only want a handful of those opportunities. Limiting your growth, Canada. The Liberals have weakened our country at the worst possible time. This government has had 10 years to improve interprovincial trade and hasn't. The Liberals have benefited from a divided federation so that no one was benefited from a divided federation. So no one is believing the Prime Minister that the barriers will be coming down by Canada Day. Frustrations with Liberals have never been higher in Saskatchewan, and for good reason. Many families I know work in the uranium sector and don't trust what C5 or this government is up to. Nuclear energy and uranium mining has been stalled in our country because of multiple overlaying of regulations. Want to build a nation? I got a project for you. It's ready to go. NextGen, Rook Project. 1,300 high-paying jobs in northern Saskatchewan ready to go. It would produce, or it would result in over $10 billion in government revenues. This is the project. This is one of thousands of projects across Canada that could actually build a nation. And I plead with the Liberals, please put Canada first for a change and get this project done. And that's just one. just one of the uranium mining projects that are on the go in Canada and northern Saskatchewan. And just pause for a minute for the.
A perfect place to pause as we move on to questions and comments. Question et commentaire.
Honourable member for Sudbury.
Speaker, it was interesting when the member talked about natural resources, and certainly as the MP for Sudbury, where we are the mining capital of Canada, and I would say the world as well, mining is very important, and critical minerals is of increasing importance as well. This government invested $3.9 billion in the critical mineral strategy, to which the member's party voted against. And I would be interested to know if the member understands the need to support that. I'll give you one example, that the United States is dependent on 80% of nickel from Ontario, essentially Sudbury, for its aerospace and defence work. So the importance of investing in our natural resources and certainly in critical minerals, $3.9 billion.
I do have to interrupt the member to provide a time for response. The honourable member for Saskatoon University.
$3.9 billion you claim has been put in this project. How many mines have been built? Zero. And I'm thinking back to my province of Saskatchewan. BHP, the largest mine that is getting built right now. Only reason why that mine is going forward is it got grandfathered to the old regulation, not under C69. So this is a failure on the Liberals. You spent billions of dollars on a critical minerals strategy, such as the potash is one of those minerals, and there's no other plants that are going, or no other mines being proposed and or being built right now because of the over-regulations that you guys have burdened our industry. So I wouldn't be proud about your mining history.
Order. Through the chair. Comments, questions, sir.
The honourable member for Abitibi-Timiskaming. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to thank my colleague for his speech in today's debate. Something happened that was kind of strange. There was a adoption through a muzzle, and the opposition accepted that for the whole chamber to be muzzled. What precedent does this create, particularly when you're talking about a project that will give tremendous power to the Privy Council to do anything that's in the national interest, and they'll just go over Indigenous and provincial jurisdiction. So I'd like to hear about what the colleague thinks about this morning's vote.
University.
Well, I thank my honourable colleague for the question, and I share some of his frustrations as the provinces have been told by Ottawa what to do and what not to do and how to do it. We've heard from the courts that how unconstitutional what the Liberals have done in the last 10 years are, and that...
Order. Point of règlement.
Point of order, the honourable member. The translation did not happen for a certain period. I'm not sure if it's working.
Translation working en français. Ça fonctionne? The
honourable member for Saskatoon University.
Yes, and I'm not sure if you caught all that, but it's pretty much, Ottawa has messed things up in our provinces and dictated the provinces in their jurisdictions, and the courts have ruled how unconstitutional that the Ottawa has been treating our provinces, and that includes Quebec and Saskatchewan, and now with C5, that, you know what, if you're a Liberal insider, you're going to be successful in this country, and that's what the last 10 years, this is your track record is, that for the last 10 years, if you were a Liberal insiders, you made cake. Everyone else, too bad. And that
Order. Questions, comments. The honourable member for Okanagan, Lake West, South Kelowna.
I'd like to thank the member for his speech. Mr. Speaker, the previous Liberal member that gave a little bit of the nickel tour, I'll give the copper tour, or a penny tour, I guess. In my old riding of Central Okanagan, Smilkameen, Nicola, I had two copper pit mines, one just outside of Princeton and one outside of Logan Lake. And both companies at the time wanted to expand their operations, but they were actually concerned that they would be subject to C69 because it would add a whole lengthy process that in the day would not be better than the provincial one and would just cost them, as C69 measures things that are not contemplated provincially or are calculated in a different sense, making for nothing but work and paper for accountants. So, Mr. Speaker, my question is this. Does the member think that the government has really lost an opportunity, instead of going back to the drawing board and redrawing C69, getting rid of the unconstitutional elements and red tape? Shouldn't that be where their focus should be?
The honourable member for Saskatoon University.
Yes, I'd like to thank the honourable colleague for the question. You're right that C5 isn't a fix. It's how to get Liberal insiders on a select list of projects that will get done. This is ethically challenging. That opens up a litany of opportunities where insiders are going to get rich once again because of this Liberal government and pick winners and losers versus letting the market. Now, to the example that you raised on C69 on ways to save that, and we do need regulations and we need protections, but what we don't need is what we currently have, which nothing is getting done. And we're in a crisis in Canada, and the Liberals do not have the answers because they're the ones that actually messed up this country so badly.
Just remind all members to address their comments through the chair.